Oh yeah, let's get some rebuttals now. Oh yeah. Hey, y'all already know what's up, man. Yeah, I did the video the other day. I think I posted it yesterday. I uploaded it yesterday about what inside the NBA Charles and Shaq and all them had to say about LeBron and what he said. And so anyway, LeBron responded to Chuck. So we gonna get into that. We gonna see what he said, and we gonna see what Stephen A. and Max gotta say about it. So yeah, let's not make y'all wait. Y'all ready for this? Let's get this going. Let's go.
Let's do it, gentlemen. We tip things off with the latest on the King James Sir Charles trash talk. Here is Barkley last week reacting to LeBron publicly stating the Cavs need another playmaker.
And Charles, crazy.
LeBron James' comments were blank.
Inappropriate, whiny, all the above.
No.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete. He is an amazing player. But this notion, they're the defending champs, and for him to be trying to hold anything over Dan Gilbert's head, and I love all these wild reporters on television who's afraid to call LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. It just pisses me off that a guy that great don't want to compete.
All right, so here's where it gets really good. After hearing the TNT analyst call him whiny, James decided he has had enough with Barkley's jabs over the years. James clapped back, telling our Dave McMenamin this. Quote, he's a hater. What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV? I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I never showed up to All-Star Weekend on Sunday because I was in Vegas all weekend partying. All I've done for my entire career is represent the NBA the right way. 14 years, never got in trouble, respected the game. Print that. I collected one paycheck from this. There's the owner, Griff's, the GM, I'm the player, screw Charles Barkley. Paging Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A.
LeBron ain't have to go. He went after him a little personally, huh?
And both sides have points. In the case of Charles Barkley, LeBron James looks very, very wrong because he crossed the line. LeBron James got personal. You know, bringing up Vegas, potential debt from Vegas, and bringing up stuff with the kids and throwing somebody through a window and all of that other stuff. LeBron James was being criticized about something involving basketball. And he definitely went beyond the pale as far as I'm concerned. I think he crossed the line with how personal he got with Charles Barkley. He definitely crossed the line in that regard. You just don't do that. You don't bring up the kind of stuff that he brought up about Charles Barkley just because you don't like what he's saying about you. That's my initial reaction. But when you dig deeper towards it, you do have to understand Charles Barkley. When you call somebody whiny, when in the past you basically called them a punk, when you question their competitive fervor and what have you, all bets are off in that regard as well, because those people are going to interpret it as you taking personal shots at them, which is why LeBron James...
1 for 1, right? It was 1 for 1. What y'all think?
And then when you think about what he closed with, Max Kellerman, when he says he's the owner, I'm the player, screw Charles Barkley, he was talking about, you know, quotes about Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, and others in terms of what Barkley was alluding to. Cleveland has given him everything that he's wanted, et cetera, and how LeBron wanted this or LeBron wanted that. When, in fact, Rich Paul, who represents a J.R. Smith, who represents a Tristan Thompson, who's had to fight for those contracts to get those dudes their money, they're looking at it from the standpoint that if LeBron got everything he wanted, he would not have had to complain the way that he's complained periodically over the last 2.5 years that he's basically been back in Cleveland. He's had to complain because he hasn't gotten the things that he wanted. So to imply that he just gets everything that he wants, that he's the one running the show, you know, they took offense to it. So, again, it's one of those situations. I think that LeBron James got a bit too personal. I think it was a bit excessive. I think he was wrong for doing that. But at the same time, if a cat's going to come at you and question your character in that fashion, you do have a right to stand up and defend yourself by any means necessary. I don't really think that there's a wrong party here, but I do think that it's going a bit too far, particularly with some of the personal stuff that LeBron James brought up, because there were certainly things on the basketball court that LeBron James could easily attack about Barkley, because Barkley doesn't have the basketball resume.
Like Shaq did.
LeBron did not have to go.
Shaq got on Chuck, man.
Because we don't know what the hell Barkley is going to say, and Barkley obviously could say a lot.
I wonder if he said anything, man. Didn't they?
LeBron may not know.
Was he on TNT last night?
Very dangerous game.
Oh man.
My reaction is
I'm gonna have to go see if he said anything.
I mean, he left them in flames. And there's some kind of joy that people get, or glee that people take, in the critic getting criticized in a way that just leaves them in flames. And so my initial reaction is like, oh, snap, you see what LeBron said about Barkley? Oh, he got him. Here's the difference. Charles Barkley, because he gives you the straight dope, even if you think he's a dope at times, he doesn't bite his tongue, is maybe the most popular critic on TV, period. He gets paid a lot of money to give you his opinion, the unvarnished truth as he sees it, precisely because he won't bite his tongue. Now, LeBron doesn't get paid to do that. Doesn't mean he can't offer his
Max be talking,
on Charles Barkley or anything he chooses. And he makes valid points.
Steve, they talk to. I guess that's why they get paid a lot.
Here is
they
making
talking
ad hominem attacks,
off.
meaning he's attacking Charles Barkley personally because he doesn't like what Charles Barkley is saying. There's an expression, don't murder the messenger. He is murdering the messenger. I don't know. And people, Shaq even does this with Barkley on the air sometimes. Shaq was a greater player than Barkley, more championships, etc. And sometimes Shaq, in the argument, whether Shaq is winning or losing, and those guys are amazing on TV together, it's an incredible show, but Shaq will sometimes just pull that trump card. He'll pull that card out and say,
he did it.
He did it the other night. I've won championships. I'm a greater player. You should stop talking. Stephen A., you and me didn't win any championships in the NBA, but we criticize these guys. I mean, the job of a critic in the media is to
y'all ain't players. Y'all never was players. It's a difference.
With a critical eye and tell you what they see. And their own background may be pointed out by the targets of their criticism at times to kind of undercut their credibility, but that doesn't change what they're saying. I would have been more convinced by LeBron's arguments if he would have gone at what the content of what Barkley said instead of impugning Barkley's character.
Well, you got to remember something. First of all, understand something.
LeBron all that man personal stuff.
Come at people like us because we truly do have a job to do, and we, you know, in my case, I've been a journalist for over 24 years, and so, you know, it's a different ball game. But it's almost, and you'll appreciate what I'm about to say, Max, it almost harkens back to what Mike Tyson said years ago when he was talking to our very own Jeremy Schaap. He said, you know, he was actually talking about black people in this regard. He said, I can understand you coming at me. He said, but somebody that shares my culture and my experiences, they should know better. Well, it's the same principle when you have a LeBron talking about Barkley. LeBron may not say that about a member of the media. He never has. But when you look at Barkley, he's like, wait a minute, you're a player. You played in this game. You tried to achieve what I have achieved. You wanted championships. I've gotten 3 of them. You went to 1 NBA Finals. I've been to 7 of them. I've got 4 league MVP honors. You have 1. Your resume doesn't compare to mine while you took up this challenge. Who the hell are you to say anything? LeBron is right about that, but it doesn't absolve
it's a butt in there
from crossing the line.
It's a butt in there. It's tough.
Why is LeBron right about that? Because when you give Barkley's resume, all that says he's more credible than the rest of us when we talk about LeBron. Is the only person who can criticize LeBron James Michael Jordan because he was better than LeBron? Kareem is the only guy who, along with Michael, can criticize LeBron.
That's not what I'm saying. Understand my point. I'm saying LeBron and any other player is going to treat a player as
differently
a critic,
than a pure
I sometimes that's my
point. When I've been critical of an athlete and they reach out or we talk about it, I sometimes refer them or send them the critic in the arena, the Teddy Roosevelt speech, where he talked about critics and how the man in the arena, it's called. And in fact, LeBron has cited the man in the arena, where Teddy Roosevelt was saying, look, Forget about the critic,
man, I want to see a
former president of the United States,
said
one of our
anything.
great presidents on Mount Rushmore.
My
Forget about the
video
critic who
tomorrow.
spends his life criticizing the deeds of others. It's the man in the arena, in the theater of action, basically, who, whether he wins or loses, has given his best effort actually in the doing. So you have to recognize that yes, there's something about the timid soul of the critic that the athlete may resent, especially when the critic is a former athlete who himself should be more sympathetic to what the athlete is going through. But that's part of what makes Charles Barkley so interesting and so excellent on TV. He went through those experiences, and he tells you exactly how he sees it anyway. He doesn't hold back out of sympathy for anyone. He just tells you the truth as he sees it. That's what makes him a valuable critic on TV and entertaining.
Stephen,
I love listening to him and Shaq though all the time.
He's talking about sometimes.
But before we move on, I have a quick question for you. Does any part of you feel that LeBron now made it personal, that this could actually quiet Charles Barkley because he doesn't want it to continue to get more personal and get uglier?
No, man, Charles ain't gonna shut up.
Barkley is not going to be quiet.
I'm just waiting to see what he had to say about it.
Barkley is not going to back down because at his core, Barkley believes he's right from the standpoint that all I'm talking about is basketball. I've said LeBron James is a great player. I said he's a champion. I said he's a great guy. But I criticized him about this basketball matter. And the thing about it is LeBron has every right to respond. But when you bring up Vegas, when you bring up the spitting incident, when you bring up throwing somebody through a glass window, when you bring up representing the NBA in such a way, that's where it gets a bit dangerous because Barkley may elect not to go but so far. Remember, they're both Nike guys. Lynn Murray, I mean, this guy is connected with Nike. Both of them love him dearly and what have you. For all we know, Barkley, Barkley's just doing Barkley, and that's it. But because LeBron was so acerbic and got personal, it is now at the discretion of Charles Barkley to respond and reciprocate in any fashion that he likes. And that is where it could potentially get dicey. And I hope it doesn't go to that point.
By the way, I don't think we can quite just say that all Barkley was doing was talking about basketball. Because one of the things that makes sports interesting, particularly on the level at which LeBron James plays, is there's something about it that makes us believe, I think for good reason, that it illuminates character. That in the moment of truth, what is this guy about? What is this athlete about? And when Barkley
inside
talks
the
about
NBA
being
from last night,
or not being competitive,
see if he said anything.
There's no way for LeBron not to take that in some way as I'm laying it all out there in front of everybody, kind of bearing my soul in the theater of competition. And when you discuss things like competitive spirit or me being whiny, how can I not take that personally? Because it speaks to my character. And I would say that's the cost of doing business. That's kind of a hazard of the occupation on LeBron James's level, is that people will, for good reason, take the outcome of the events. That includes what team you choose to play for and how you play in crunch time and all those things as revealing somehow your character. You're going to take that personally sometimes.
That's what's up. Anyway, yeah, man, that's that. I can say a whole lot, but whatever, man. It's, you know how it is. If two men, one man doesn't like what another says, they gonna address it most of the time. And hey, Chuck was a former NBA player, and LeBron is the best. Yeah, y'all know. Well, hey, I like Mike. They right here for me, all right? They right here for me. So whatever, we leave that on the table for another time. Anyway, yeah. So two men don't like what the other say, and yeah, I'm waiting to see if Charles have anything else to say. I'm gonna have to go find the video, see if he had anything else to say. But anyway, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all like, subscribe, and share the video. And the link to this video gonna be in the description below. And yeah, y'all already know what it is. Say it out. Yeah!